Okay, come on. All right. All right. Miss Miko, I'm clapping. All right. All right. Good morning, guys. It is the Wake the F. It's a Wake Up the F Up Monday, April the 28th, 2025. Welcome, guys. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team with the Queen, Miss Miko. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. The chat room is open, or you can call in the numbers 570-982-6950. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. I'm super excited to be here this morning. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I'm saying a lot and not breathing, but I'm trying to get through this whole situation right now. This is where you get your morning love, but most importantly, it's the only place in this entire earth where you get your morning started right. To the Queen, Miss Miko, good morning. God bless. Looking good. And how are you, young lady?
Good morning, Shawn. How are you? What's
Good.
up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Miko. It feels good to be here with you guys on the Wake the F Up Monday. We have a great show lined up for you, so make sure you stick with us. But before we get into the show, I want to remind you, July the 12th, July the 12th, July the 12th, July the 12th. Mark your calendars. Text us, call us, smoke signals. Get your tickets. The tickets are going. We just released the date last week. We didn't even get flyers out yet, and people are already buying up the tickets. So please, we want to see all of y'all in the building. Shawn, Cindy, and myself will be in the building doing the podcast live. It's going to be brunch style, day party style. Please come, enjoy the show, hang out with us, and have a good time. July the 12th, July the 12th, July the 12th. But let's get into today's show. You want to stick with us, the only place on earth where you get your morning started, right?
Where you get your morning started right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in last night. And Ms. Speaker, you can definitely identify what I'm about to say. Guys, welcome to the show. And we got two sponsors here, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Since Ms. Miko announced, our podcast event July the 12th at Comedy in Harlem. Doors open up at 2. She's right. The flyer's not out yet. I will have the flyer this week and during this week. And please, we would love for all you guys to support. Remember, we do the live podcast. It's fun, high energy. We get our laugh on. We have great topics that we talk about. A lot of folks come on out, and we have brunch style this time. And we wish you guys could come on out and hang out. That's July the 12th, just like Miss Miko said. Now, Miss Miko, I'm an elderly man out and still out in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm outside for real.
Mm-hmm.
And at some of these clubs I go to, I really am the oldest person in the building.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I am so proud of that. Because there's a lot of folks my age can't come outside.
Right.
So it's all good. And last night, Miss Miko, now I want to hear your opinion about this because I thought about you and Cindy. Uh, Last night we did the comedy show, right? And shout out to the to the establishment, ownership, to the staff, everybody. It was just an awesome experience. It was a great experience. And the DJ was doing this thing. I thought he was. And Miss Vigo, the DJ was a bunch of grown folks. Like we do a quick comedy show and then we mix and mingle with an after party.
Okay. Again, another show me and Cindy was not invited to, but carry on. We're listening.
Oh my God, man. And it's in the Poconos. And I just, before we start the show just now, I actually said to Miss Vigo, more than like the next time I do it, I would love for you to come up there. And it's only like about 45 minutes from where you live, Miss Vigo. So anyway, the show was great. The comedians was funny. I was hosting the show. It was dope. Everybody was supporting the Black-owned business. It also gave me a reminder of how when you had your hookah lounge, Miss Miko, and folks were coming out and having a good time. But it was a different kind of demographic with it. These are more older folks, right? And these are just folks that around my age, a little younger, and they want to come out and have a good time, and they smoking their cigars, right?
Right.
So after the show was over, the DJ, right, for whatever reason, he was playing a lot of like house music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he was in his zone. Like for me personally, I was working. I'm out there selling merch. I'm doing my thing. I don't care. Whatever's happening I did my job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Miko, these 4 young ladies came in. They were young. They were like in their mid-20s or early 30s. Sort of like your daughter, like around. They were beautiful like women. They came in. They were young.
Right.
And And now the DJ's been playing house music for the last like 25 minutes, but nobody's dancing, but everybody's just vibing. You know what I mean?
Is he like a house music DJ?
Not at all. Like this
Oh.
guy has played all type of music, and he's actually a really good DJ. But for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason, he was in his bag last night. Like I said, I don't care. He's the DJ. I'm the comedian. But no
Mm-hmm.
one was dancing, but everybody was mingling after the show. So now these young ladies come in. And Miss Miko, check this out. It reminded me back in my days when I used to party and how we all used to party. They were from New York
Okay.
and they drove out to the Poconos.
Really? For the party and for the comedy show after party?
No, they came
Or they was
more
just
for the
happen to be there to just hang out for the weekend?
yes, yes. And
Okay.
they were coming more or less for the party.
Okay.
I guess they didn't want to come to the comedy show, which was fine. So they wanted to hit a few places, I guess, and they drove out and they were saying that, right, they had a hotel and they just kind of made a weekend out of it because they wanted to vibe in the Poconos. So I thought that was really nice. It was four young ladies, and I thought that was really nice that four young folks have the way about to say, you know what, let's take a short trip somewhere and let's have a good time and party and feel the culture and the atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
But Miss Miko, they came over to me because I'm selling merch, I'm doing my thing, and it looked like I worked there. So they came up to me, and they were from the Bronx, and they were from Harlem, and they were like, "Yo, what's up with the DJ? Yo, when he gonna start playing?" They said it just like it's cold word. He said, "When they gonna start playing hip hop?" And these women looked absolutely beautiful. I thought it was like, okay, so they explained it to me what's going on. They explained in the situation. My man Q Brooks, the comedian, he was over there, helping out. And then they were getting drinks and they were buying cigars. So they came, and it wasn't like, see, because that's the one thing I hate. I hate when young folks or even grown folks come into an establishment and you're not spending a dime or you
Right.
spending minimum money. Why did you come outside, sir or man?
Right.
These people came out, these young folks came out, they ordered their cigars, they got their liquor, they food, they did the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they was like, yo, what's up the DJ with that? I said, listen to me. Okay. I said, I tell you what, let me talk to the DJ. Cause I'm used to doing this all the time. See, like I'm the buffer for a DJ for some strange reason.
Okay.
I said, let me talk to the DJ. So I'll go over to the DJ. Like again, the DJ's a good dude. His wife was there, we all support each other. I go, yo, bro, man, listen, young folks that came in here and they've been here for about a half an hour. They want to know if you want to play, you switch it up and play a little.
Yeah.
Now, nobody's there. Miss Miko, when I tell you he cranked up the house music even more after I said that.
Are you serious? See, that's the problem I be having with some of these DJs. You got to read the crowd. You got to read the crowd. So go ahead. What happened?
So,
And you
so,
want to tell me who this is off camera too? I want to know
so,
what DJ this was.
so the girl that was working the door with me, we were laughing because I was saying to her, I was like, listen, these young ladies, they wasn't here. They didn't want to hear too much of the house music. Like I said, everybody else was mingling at the bar. Nobody was dancing. You're right. DJ should read the room,
Right.
but nobody was complaining except for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're back. They're sitting back down. So I see them come walk back over to me again. So I'm like, I'm prepared. I was like, because I'm standing right next to the DJ. I said, I let them know. Yo, don't you know these girls went right past me, right to the DJ. And I couldn't hear the conversation, but I kind of feel what they were saying. Like, yo, what's up with the music? And he still didn't pay no mind. He kept playing the house music. Don't you know these girls went outside in their cars and started talking, drinking, whatever they were doing. And how do I know that? Because when I left, because I stayed another, I'm working. So when I stayed another half an hour and I left. So I go to the car, they're parked 2 spaces away from me. So they was like, hey, Mr. Comedian. They called me Mr. Comedian. Hey, Mr. Comedian. We drove all the way up here and we didn't want to hear house music, blah, blah, blah. And for some reason, I don't know why, I apologized for the DJ. I was like, I'm so sorry. I know like he's in his bag tonight. But see, they was like, we don't understand why. We asked him like an hour ago, like he just played house music. I left at about 11:30 The show was over at 10:30, about a little bit after 10.
Hmm.
Stay for an extra hour, sold merch, and I had to wait to get paid because the owner of the bar is the promoter, and the place is a beautiful place. It's
Right.
called IQ Cigar Lounge, guys.
Hmm.
IQ Cigar Lounge in the Poconos in East Stroudsburg. Please, I strongly recommend that you guys, if you're in the area or if you're out of New York, whatever, you come for the weekend, stop by. It's definitely a vibe on a Saturday night, even if it's not comedy. We do comedy on the last Saturday of the month, but every Saturday and Friday is dope. It's grown folks. The place look beautiful. But I wasn't even mad at the DJ, even though like the customer wanted to hear a particular song. The DJ stayed in his bag.
I don't like that, Sean. I don't like that because as a business owner, if I'm paying you to do something, I'm not saying the customer's always right, but you can leave a bad taste in the customer's mouth where word of mouth could be like, oh, I'm not going there because they play house music all the time. I'm not going there because, and it could just be a downward spiral. If you're working for me as a DJ, mix it up. There's nothing wrong with house music. There's nothing wrong with Spanish music. There's nothing wrong with hip hop. There's nothing wrong with any music, but just do everything in moderation. And if a paying customer is saying, hey, Mr. DJ, can you play like 15 minutes of old school R&B hip hop? That's all I want to hear. How could you ignore that person and turn it up more and nobody's dancing? Or nobody's paying any mind? No, they're not complaining, but they're not really like jiving with what you're doing with anyway. That would annoy me as an owner.
So then, as an owner, and guys, welcome to the show. Only place on earth where you get your morning start right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, wake up team with the Queen, Miss Miko. Listen, the show is sponsored by You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise. That's my man Rob Jackson. It's from August the 2nd to August the 9th, 2026. It's on the Norwegian Escape. We sail from Miami and we're going to the east coast of Mexico, and then we're gonna come on back. We have low deposit prices right now, so y'all come and hang out with us. That's one of our sponsors today. That's You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise. That's August 2nd through the 9th, 2026. The Norwegian Escape. Come see me. We selling out of Miami. We're gonna party for 7, 8 days in a row, and it's the ultimate cruise. You are not ready now, Miss Mika. Now you're a business owner, and you've been in this atmosphere, and I bear witness to you working when you had your club. Miss Speaker, is this something where the ownership goes over to the DJ and like suggest? Oh wait, before you answer that question, and suggest to change the music because the owner last night of the lounge, he was too busy, and God bless you. Want ownership to be busy, like him and his
Yeah.
wife owns this place and God bless this dude. It's my man Q and his wife and Mrs. Q. It sort of remind me of when you and Mike had your place, where sometimes it's pockets of the night where you're too busy to worry. You can focus on the task at hand, serving food, whatever. But Miss Miguel, have you ever been in that atmosphere where it's been super busy and you have to stop and go over to the DJ or have that conversation?
I've never had to do that because the DJs that we employed, they understood the assignment. They knew if people are moving, they vibing to the music, you keep it going. If you're playing something, and in my establishment, there was no drill music. I didn't play nothing aggressive in my situation because I don't want nobody want to shoot nobody up, fight nobody up. And if they do get aggressive, they start to chill it out. Like, nah, I put on some R&B and make them flirt with the ladies a little bit to kind of chill them out. But thank God I never had a situation where I had to say something to my DJs. But when I employ DJs and we have a conversation of what kind of energy I want in the room, they always understood the assignment. And if you got a bunch of people from Newark, New Jersey, because you know they love that club music, if the whole place is Newark, you give them people what they want. You rock out to that. If you got Brooklyn, Bronx, Long Island there, you give them the hip hop. Like you give the people what they want because I want you ultimately to say, I had a great time at this establishment. Friday nights is the night. I'll be back. I love that DJ. I love the energy here. That's your goal as a business owner, to keep bringing revenue in.
Gotcha.
So they may have lost those 4 young ladies from New York City, but those young ladies could have went back home like, yeah, we went to the Poconos. We had a good time, but we went to this whack ass club. It's cigar bar, whatever. They're going to tell their friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. And when they come back again, guess who's not coming into the cigar lounge? Them. You understand what I'm saying? It's like a
Gotcha.
trickle down effect.
Gotcha. Uh, Let's make a which drill music again? Could you
You know,
which
that's that aggressive. music. It came from Chicago, where they talk about all the murders that they did.
Oh my God. Yeah,
He's
no,
gonna
it doesn't.
shoot you in your face, and
Oh, no, no, no.
yeah.
So,
So
but
I
again,
that's like a no in my no drill music at all.
now again, like I said, in defense of the DJ, like he just kept playing his music.
Do
Now
I know who
maybe
DJ is? No one I know, right?
no, you don't know this guy. He's a good
Okay.
guy. I think he's a really good DJ. I just think for that night, he was just you talk about reading the room and you talk about whatever, but
That's part of your
now
job as a DJ.
in his defense, I left. So maybe after I left, he probably switched up. But for that hour and
But
10
after an
minutes,
hour, do you know how long an hour of club music is? Do you know how long that hour is? Oh no, that's a lot.
so, guys, once again, there's a shout out to IQ Cigar Lounge and East Stroudsburg. Y'all go up there and have a good time. The ambiance is dope. The vibe is dope. The place looks beautiful. If you're into cigars, you can go in there and smoke. If you're not into cigars, come on up and have a good time. We do the comedy show there once a month. So, welcome to the show. Only place on earth where you get your morning started, right? Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. Yeah, and guys, have you ever been to a party where you sat around and the DJ was like, "What's going on?" Or I've been fortunate to I've been to a lot of parties, especially a lot of parties recently with the after party with the comedy show, and all the DJs are on point. So shout out to all the DJs out there. Hi, welcome to the show. Once again, show is sponsored by You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise. That's August the 2nd through the 9th. It's on the Norwegian Escape. We're selling out of Miami. We're going to all the few ports of calls on the east coast of Mexico, and we're going to rock out. LaShawn Haynes Jones, God bless you. You already made your deposit and use the code Purple Rain. That's for Harvey, so I can get my little credit there. All right, Miss Miko. How you feel? How was your weekend?
My weekend was actually, Sean, it was pretty quiet. I was supposed to hang out on Saturday with my best friend, but I don't know. Apparently, there was some type of like weird thunderstorm happening in North New Jersey, New York area. We was actually going down to this place called Swahili Village in North New Jersey. It's an African spot, live DJ, music, food, good energy. It was about 7 o'clock. I was ready to leave my house, and she called and she's like, "You're gonna drive through this rain?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Girl, it's a monsoon out there. It's a hurricane." And as I'm talking to her, my phone is ringing. Other people are calling me like, "Oh, I hope you're not coming out. I don't want you in the highway. It's crazy." So at that point, I just took off my clothes, closed the door, and just started watching movies on TV. And Sunday was pretty quiet because it was kind of cold on Sunday. So I
Yeah.
just kind of, sat around the house and just chilled out. So my weekend, I must say, this weekend was a very, very quiet weekend for me.
Yeah.
What did you do besides the show? Did you do
Well,
anything else?
I did shows, and then Friday night I did a show for one of those college fraternities, the
Oh, with the
Alpha
guys that be
Singers.
like this and
Those
all
guys,
that?
yeah,
Okay, how was
yeah.
that?
Nothing but the dog give me wow wow
Yeah.
wow yippee yo yippee yay bow wow yippee yo yippee yay bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay. Well, the thing with that was the place was packed. It was on Friday night. It was in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. These are educated Black folks and church folks. Now, I walked into the room. I saw the crowd, like you talked about, read the room. I looked, there was some aunties in the front and all that. And the president of the Alpha Beta, whatever, she made an announcement. And the moment I saw that, I said, Harvey, do your jokes clean.
Make the show PG, Harvey.
I looked at Lucifer on my left shoulder. I said, "Bro, you're gonna have to chill for a couple of minutes. We
He's like,
gonna,
let me out, let me out, let me
yeah."
out.
Lucifer was like, "Curse, motherfucker, curse." I was like, "Nah, Luther, we got to do this clean, bro." And I didn't have to, but I just read the room. I was like, "Oh no, this is these educated Black folks and church folks combined." So to me, that eliminated the cursing.
Good call.
And on top of that, this is very interesting. Jersey, right? The house music. The DJ was a house music DJ, but he took his house music to a whole nother level. He was so good that it almost interfered with the comedy show because in the beginning, they playing music before the show started. He got these people rocking.
No, they was riled up. Huh? They didn't want to sit down for the show.
Yeah, they didn't want. I even told the host, I said, "Yo, you got to tell the DJ to calm down, man, because how we gonna start the show?" And
Right.
sometimes with me and doing stand up on this level, it is so refreshing to do stand up in front of folks that got some money. You could smell the money in the room.
Did you sell out? Did you sell out
Yeah,
the
I
merch?
sold a lot of merchandise. Yeah, thank you. But comparison to 2 weeks ago, I was in the hood in Philly. I did a show in the hood in Philly, in one of the worst hoods in Philly. I walked in there, there was about 30 people in there, and I already knew. I put the merch back in the car because I knew they would go. I knew these neighbors, they had no one. These neighbors had nothing. And no disrespect to them. Philly, I got love for you. But these was some real organic neighbors. You know, we use the word neighbors instead of the N-word.
Right.
The paper wasn't in the building.
Oh my God.
Even said to the host, I said, what is this? Nah, man, just do your jokes so I can pay you so you can get out of here.
So you can be safe.
That's right. And then I wondered, I got the money. I was like, listen, I'm going to go outside because I want to make sure my car is still there.
Right.
And this is one of the, and what's it's weird about that? In Philadelphia, in this particular neighborhood, right down the block was Temple University.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's how it is in this country sometimes with the division of the neighborhoods.
Yale is in the hood.
Yeah,
Harvard is in the hood.
you can literally see Temple University down the block.
Absolutely.
But I was in one of the worst hoods.
I know exactly where you was at. But you know what? They don't mess with them kids, them college kids. First of all, college kids is broke. So they don't bother them kids. Them college kids don't got no money.
But Miss Migo, I did see something that I didn't see in a while.
What?
Miss Migo, the show ended about 11. Like, yeah, we stayed and talked for a moment. The show ended about 11. I come outside about 11:15. No, I head on home. Miss Migo, I saw something I ain't seen in a long time.
What?
Drunk college kids walking in the street from Temple University.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Miko, some of these women had like skirts going all up that like you just
Yeah, I know.
so revealing on what they had. I'm like, don't get me wrong, like the Shannon Sharp didn't come out of me, but I was like.
You didn't want to choke her?
Yeah, I didn't want to choke. I didn't
You
want
didn't
to.
feel like choking her?
And they were walking by like flocks of like young folks, and I was like, "Oh my God! Like, put some clothes on."
They're like, no, we're 21 and we're lit.
Yeah, and I got in the car because I didn't want to turn into a creepy old man, and they look at me like, "What's that old man looking at me for?" You know what I mean? So there you go. And you're right. And they walked right into the hood, and nobody bothered these kids.
Nope, them kids don't got no money.
But shout out to those folks in Scott Plains, New Jersey. I walked in, I smelled the money. I smelled the good credit. I smelled it. I smelled, yo, with some established black folks. And God bless y'all.
You probably had a
And
couple of judges and lawyers.
yes, thank you. That money. Well, you know they got money when they got, let me get 2, let me get 3, let me get 5. Where you from? Here, just take the $20. That's just the tip. I'm like, oh my God. Shout out to Scotch Plains, New Jersey. That's where the money at for the black folk. You want to get single guys that's listening to this show right now? You want you a single established woman? Go drive around Scotch Plains, New Jersey. And shout out to my man Billy the Billionaire for putting that great event on. Okay, welcome to the show. Only place on earth where you get your stuff morning started right. This is a Wake the F Up Monday. Shawn Harvey, it's your boy right here with the Queen, Miss Miko. Miss Miko, you are on deck right now. What is your first story?
I want to talk about Shein, as they said, Shein. Let me pull up that story. Now, you guys know that Donnie, he had added some tariffs to everything that's coming into the United States. And Shein apparently increased their prices. Let me just find the story, guys. Increased their prices by over 344%. Where is it? Here it is, right here. 377%, excuse me. Let me pull this story up. Oh my goodness. Okay. Days after the news first broke that Shein would be raising prices in response to the tariff, customers are now beginning to see the difference. Fast fashion giant Shein Group Ltd raised U.S. prices of its product from dresses to kitchenware ahead of imminent tariffs from small parcels. in an early sign of the potential effect of the trade war on American consumers. Most of the hikes of the U.S. prices came on Friday, which I saw it myself. I had stuff in my cart, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is my cart like $300 now? Wait a minute. Markup significantly became significantly higher in some categories than others, according to data compiled by Bloomberg News. The average price for the top 100 products in the beauty and health category increased by 51% from Thursday, with several of its items more than doubling in price. For home and kitchen products and toys, the average jump was 30%, led by a massive 377% increase in the price of a 10-piece set of kitchen towels. You heard it, kitchen towels. E-commerce platforms like Shein and Temu face a 120% tariff due to the U.S. ending its de minimis exemption for small packages from China and Hong Kong. Washington will also increase the per postal fee to $100 after May 2nd and even higher after June 1st. Y'all, Washington will increase the per postal item fee to $100. Now, prior to that, you can order something from China, like say you order like, I don't know, like something small from Temu, like batteries or like, you know, like scissors or something like that. It'll come and it's free of charge. Now you're buying scissors for $3 and you're paying $100 to have them mail it here. But not to be outdone, China was petty. They sent 277,000 empty shipping containers to the U.S. And it was on, let me pull that story up. And when it came to our docks, the dock workers were in there, you know, they got to go in there and load it. They were empty shipping containers. China said, checkmate, we playing chess, not checkers with y'all. Let me get that story for you guys. Sean, what's your thoughts on Shein?
Okay. Well, again, welcome to the Shawn Place on Earth, where you get your morning started, right? The show is sponsored by You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise. That's August the 2nd through the 9th, 2026. The Norwegian Escape is the ship. We're sailing out of Miami, and we're going down to the east coast of Mexico. Now, listen, y'all guys, we got small deposits right now going on. Please take advantage of it. LaShawn Haynes Jones, thank you so much. She's the first one on deck to drop that deposit. We need everyone else to drop that deposit. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. We are out of here. We are going away. Don't be saying, Shawn, we don't be doing nothing on the show. Well, we got things to do on the show, and we're going away, and we appreciate you. And good morning to everybody in there. Young and Nuts, Sister Soldier, Tracy Ray, and all the rest of you guys, man. And Miko mentioned
Princess
some of you.
Cox.
That's right. We're good morning to all you guys. Now, this is exactly what you get. You wanted to make America great again, and you're feeling the greatness. And white folks, they shop on Shein and Timo as well. Okay? And now you can't get your little Trump supplies no more. The president rating, do me a favor, look up his approval rating real quick. His approval rating is in the garbage right now. And this is exactly what you get. But the problem with this is it affects everybody. So a lot of people always say, listen, your vote don't count. Your vote don't count. It don't matter if you don't vote. But guess what? They voted for Donald Trump. So your vote does count because they voted for him and he won. And look at all this chaos that's going on right now. Do you think that if we elected Kamala Harris as president, that we'd be going through all of this right now? It would be status quo. Of course, she's going to set her own policies and has her own agenda. We know that, but she didn't mention about any of this happening. So now the little Shein and your little Timo, it's going to outprice you. Now you ain't going to be able to take advantage of these goods that are great for the consumer. They're affordable. Americans are buying it every day, and now look, can't even buy it now because it's going to cost too much. But you voted for this because you want to sit there and talk about he's going to make the economy better. Nah, that was underlying racism. Let's keep it real. And then he said, yo, we're going to clean up all the bureaucracy. And guess what happened? He fired everybody. And it got so bad that guess what? Your boy that was running Doge, Elon Musk.
Oh, he jumped ship. He said, I'm out of here.
He stepped down.
He got to go take care of Tesla because Tesla's thinking over there.
Tesla's done. They stocks dropped 71%. The Tesla's finished. It's done. And that's exactly what he did. Because you can't play both aisles. You can't fire people that's driving your car. And on top of that, you're the world's richest man. So
Yeah.
China did the right thing by trying to send more empty containers. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be no need for the dock workers in America.
Yep.
Donald Trump did not think all of this through at all. The last time we reported, the last penicillin factory in America will close in 2014 because all our penicillin is shipped from China. America's not built like that no more. And Donald Trump want to bring back warehouses. What I said on Friday, ain't no black or white folks working in no warehouse like that.
Yeah, we don't want them jobs.
And those jobs are for young folks anyway. I'm talking about young folks. I'm talking about young folks from 25 to 30 years old. They could do all of that. Folks from 20, 30, 40, they're not doing that.
Nope.
Who's doing that? And folks that are 40, 50 years old, they are not working in a factory in America. This is a terrible experiment that's going bad.
They said Trump has the lowest 100-day approval rating in the last 80 years. His 100th day of presidency is coming up upon us, and his rating right now is 31%, the lowest rating in 80 years.
Yo, Miss Miko, let's give a round of applause to that.
We shouting out Donnie. We clapping Donnie.
How many percent you said? 80 what? 70 what?
31%.
31%. His approval ratings are in the toilet right now, and these are the Babylonians. So okay, you allow politics and government policies, right, to affect the everyday American like this. The Americans, we love Shein and Temu. We love that. I
love Shein. I'm a Shein girl. Absolutely.
I love it. And now we can't purchase it now. And we got to wait 15 years for America to build a factory to produce these items. But China already beat you to it because China and the Mexican government came out with a deal 2 weeks ago to build a warehouse for Temu and Shein in northern Mexico, where they're going to allow the United States, U.S. citizens to come down and shop and purchase things.
I think what's going to happen is they're going to make it hard for people coming over the border to bring it back. They're going to let us in here to shop, but to bring it back, they're going to tax the hell out of us. Sean, you know, when we come back from our trips, when we go through customs, they be like, do you have anything to declare? What do you have in your suitcase? I think as people go down there to go shopping in Shein, they're going to tear them up at the border.
Well, then you know what? They're going to tear down the ass up, pause, and when he can't even get elected. And that's another thing. He can't run for president anymore.
So he's trying to, though. He's trying to change the law.
Yeah, but that's not going to work. Because you know why it's not going to work? When these midterm elections come next year, these Republicans are going to get fired. Remember all these town halls, guys, that they've been having recently where the Republican candidate goes back home to talk to their constituents and to let everybody know what's going on in Washington? They always getting cursed out, and they have to, and the rest of them cancel their town halls because they're getting screamed on.
Yeah.
This is a hot mess that now we can't go on Shein and to Temu to purchase items that cost $7 now, or items that cost $20, or the towel rack, or whatever Miko was talking about the towel set. Can't even get a towel set right now.
They said
like, what are we doing?
77%. That's crazy.
What are we doing? We can't get a 10-piece towel set.
You can get it for $49.99 plus shipping and handling.
That's right. We can't get curtains now. We can't do none of that. What you want us to do? So now you want us to go outside and go to these stores and shop for it and look through things like this is the 1980s. We like to go on our phones, on our laptop, look at things, click and purchase.
Period.
That's what we like to, as Americans, that's what we like to do. Leave us alone and allow us to get our click on.
Yep.
We already proven that a lot of the malls in America are declining and a lot of these malls are closing because we don't want to go into the stores no more. There's no
Mm-hmm.
more malls being built like that. The malls that are existing, that are thriving, God bless them. Look, how many Macy's has closed throughout? Miss Miko could research that now. Look how many Macy's and the Toys R Us's of the world and all these stores have closed and went online. And hello, half of their products are not even made in America as well.
Mm-hmm.
And for Timo and Sheem to be assaulted by the president Donald Trump is a disgrace. Put a number one chat room if you shop on what is it called? Timo?
Timu.
And what's the other one?
Shein.
Shein. Put a number one if you shop. Put a number one if you shop on Shein and Timo.
Mm-hmm.
Put a number two if you don't.
I'm putting 100 number ones because I'm always on them too.
So what's gonna happen now, Donald Trump? We can't get deliveries no more.
You can. You pay that $100.
Oh my God! And shout out to the Chinese government for bringing back thousands and thousands of empty containers. Because
Yo,
if
they
think
are
about Miss
shot
Miko, but
out.
Miss Miko brings up a good point, guys. Imagine if the whole world brought empty containers to the United States.
Mm.
What do we need dock workers for? And those guys make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of them are getting fired. Half of them voted for Donald Trump, and that's just what you get.
Yep.
You don't see, and Miss Miko, I'll ask you this question before we move on to the next story. Come on, prior to the election that happened last year and years leading to it, how, and especially where we live, Miss Miko, all throughout the communities in these neighborhoods, you saw Donald Trump signs and Donald Trump.
Oh, let
Trump.
me tell you something. My neighbor across the street, he still got Trump sign in his lawn. He's standing 10 toes down. He still got his sign in his lawn to this day. I looked at it the other day when I pulled out my garage. I was like, this month, he's still, yep, 10 toes down.
And you know what? But there's a lot of folks you don't see. Unfortunately, Miko got to see one every day for a neighbor. But throughout the region and throughout the country, you don't see a lot of Trump signs no more. You see a lot of they are heavy, a heavy supporters of Donald Trump, but you don't see them out there uh, 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 proudly holding these signs up about Donald Trump. You don't see that no more. Look, the approval rating says it 31%, the lowest in 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
I had a low approval rating with my second baby brother.
And your third.
My second and my third baby brother. Approval ratings were at 29.
You silly.
Miss Miko, in your lifetime of relationships, what would be like if a man looked over at you? No, listen. What would you think his approval rating would he would say of you? Ask me that question first.
Yeah, because you ain't asking me that question.
Ask me that question.
Shawn, in your lifetime, what would be your approval rating amongst the women that you've been with? I answer that question.
I would say you can answer that question, Miss Miko. You know yourself.
I'm answering that question. You love causing beef in my household. Every morning you come with a different question, causing beef. I'm not answering that
question. Shout out to Mike Dixon. I would say in my lifetime, Miss Miko, I would say 75%.
Okay.
I'm not perfect. I would say 75%.
Okay.
What you say, Miss Miko?
I say nothing. I said 75%. Wow. I say nothing. Wow.
Well, welcome to the show, the place on earth where you get your morning stuff. All right, Shawn Harvey Morning show featuring Wake Up Team. You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise. That's August 2nd through the 9th, 2026. It's the Norwegian Escape is the ship we're selling out of Miami. Miss Miko, I hope you and Mike Dixon and the girls and all of y'all can come on out. We're going to have a good time. We're partying the whole 8 days or 7 days. And we're doing comedy shows. We got the DJs. We got our own parties. We got our own rooms that are booked for our own parties and our own situation. And if you need some downtime with yourself, you could go on and do whatever on the ship. And if it's your first time ever sailing on the ship or on a cruise, I would suggest that you do something like this. You're around folks that you know, you can meet folks, and they're playing the music that you want to hear. Because listen, Miss Miko will tell you. Remember, Miss Miko and Cindy went on that wag ass cruise for
Oh my
$29 2 years
God.
ago. Y'all
Ay,
remember
ay,
that? The
ay.
cruise,
Ay,
and
ay,
also
ay.
my man Chink Chink was on there. He even said it was trash. And Miss Miko was the one that got Cindy on that Circle Line bullshit cruise
It
that
was
they
not
went
the
on.
Circle
They,
Line. It was the MSC. It was just a very mature European cruise that we had no business being on with them
You know
people.
what I'm saying? That boat left Manhattan and went to 125th Street for 5 days and came right back. And it was cold out there and it was playing ping pong.
We had no business getting on that boat. I tell you, boy.
So this is a whole different situation. This is us on that ship and we're gonna have a good time. All right, Miko, what's your next story?
Um, I want to talk about. I don't know if you guys heard about this lady. First of all, I just want to say that mental illness is real. And you guys, if you have a friend that's suffering or that's going through something, please offer your support, offer services, offer any kind of help because this story is crazy as heck. Let me, oh, where is it? Try to find it. It has to do with the airlines. And you know, these planes has been, Sean, where's my story? Hold on, y'all.
Got him.
Let me find it. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I just had it, and I can't find it for some reason. Y'all hear my granddaughter up there screaming? Um, Basically, it's a Southwest airline passenger. Here it is. Hold on. Okay, so a Southwest Airlines passenger allegedly stripped naked and pooped on the seat as the plane landed. According to the New York Post, a female passenger on Southwest Airlines flight to Chicago allegedly stripped down naked and pooped in her seat as the plane landed. Police officers were called to Chicago Midway Airport on Saturday as Flight 418 from Philadelphia arrived, with one passenger shocking the cabin by taking off her clothes and emptying her bowels on the plane seat. Our teams are reaching out to those on board to apologize for the situation and any delay to their travel plans, Southwest said in a statement to the outlet. Nothing is more important than the safety of our customers and employees as we appreciate their professionalism of our flight crew. It wasn't clear what happened after Lady was taken off of the plane, but the plane was taken out of service. This happened because as they were descending into Chicago, you know, after a certain time, you hear the boom, boom. That means your last time to get up, go to the bathroom. When you start to descend, you can't leave your seat because it's a safety issue. Apparently, this passenger had to get up to go to the bathroom, whatever. She couldn't hold it. The flight attendants told her she can't get up. She has to have a seat. And she just decided to take off her clothes and poop on the seat. But I feel there was something else going on up here for her to blatantly do that. So you guys, I don't know if it's a Babylonian or a neighbor. It doesn't matter. It's just that mental illness is real, and you guys call and check on your friends. Go ahead, Sean.
Uh, uh, Now, here's the problem. And welcome to the show, guys. That's why I don't know. Okay, well, one thing, right? I go hold on. ADHD thing. That's why before I go into the story, no, let's go into that part first. See, you see Miss Miko talk about mental illness, which is true, because you don't know with the mental capacity of any individual that's going on, especially in a public area, especially with transportation. We you know, you guys see it every day in New York City. If you take the train, there's a whole mental situation going on in the subway every 5 minutes of the day. Now, if this woman had mental issues and if she alerted the airlines about her issues and knowing that she has to go to the bathroom, I don't care if the plane is descending out the air 10,000 feet every 5 minutes or whatever. Let that lady use the bathroom.
But Sean, she can hurt herself. What if they hit turbulence and she's in the bathroom? Boom, she hits her head. Like she can hurt herself if she gets to go to the bathroom.
Okay, so
That's
which
a
you want?
safety
Which you want her to
precaution.
bump her head in the bathroom or poop all in the aisles 27? Which one are we doing here?
Well, I don't know. I don't sit in aisle 27, but yeah.
Whatever, Miss Miko. I sit in aisle 27.
I'll
Okay,
sit back
put a
there.
number one in chat room if you sit in aisle 27 through aisle 34. Put three number ones in the chat room. Miss Miko over there with her first class ass.
We got our own bathroom up there. We got our own situation. Don't come past the curtains. These curtains is here for a reason.
Yeah.
We don't be bothered what's going on back there.
And you know what I always say about first class? Nobody survives.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because I'm about to fly out next week. I don't want to hear it.
Nobody survives.
I don't want to hear it.
You never see somebody from first class get the rubble off like, oh man. You never hear them go, oh my God, we good up here. Never. And sometimes you gotta, I don't want to say violate the policies of the flight, but if you know that this person's disturbed, first of all, why you got them on the plane anyway? I say that respectfully.
You can't tell a disturbed person by looking at them.
I don't know.
Look at somebody and be like,
you know
oh,
how
this person's
people
gonna poop in their seat. My thing is, why did she take off all of her clothes? Well, why?
I would take all my clothes off too if I got to poop in my seat.
That's crazy.
And this is a terrible situation. What did they do? What happened? What was the end result with this?
So the police met her. Of course, they took her off the plane. We don't know if she went to jail or if she went to a psych institution, and they took the plane out of commission. And they apologized to the passengers. No one was offered any compensation. So that was it.
I do sympathize in a sense with this young lady. Sorry that everybody was so inconvenienced. Imagine you're on the plane and you smell poop.
That's disgusting.
And imagine the person that's sitting next to her. Oh my God!
What was they doing? What was this?
Right, right. And
the
you know,
on the other side or the person behind them, but seeing you getting up and taking your clothes off, like what's going on?
Right, and you know what? People gonna say something. I know I'm like, yo, you just sitting on yourself, yo. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like you put everybody else in a weird, awkward position. So I think that sometimes you just gotta say, if she like, I gotta go to the bathroom, like she's doing that, I gotta go to the bathroom, you know that. Or I'm gonna take my clothes off. Just let them go to the bathroom.
Just let them go, right?
Just let them go to the bathroom. I understand that they're not supposed to go to the pallet. Like, no, bro, this lady's about to shit on herself, and let's let her use the bathroom because she's gonna take off all her clothes.
Right.
Let's just do that. And it leads to my second point. That's why when I fly, I don't eat too much. Cause I don't want to do the number 2 on the plane.
You don't pass gas on the plane, Shawn?
I pass gas on the plane, but I go in the bathroom and pass the gas.
And it's trapped in there. You know, there's always a lock for the bathroom back there.
See, as you get older, you don't have all those gassy smells, Miss Miko. When I fart, it's minimum smell to the fart.
You are in a tube, in a vessel with other people, and you what?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not taking no poop in the plane. I'd rather go in there and which one do we want to urinate and we want to poop? I mean, we want to fart. We don't want to poop on the plane. Put a number 1 chat room if you ever pooped on a flight. Put a number 2 if you never did. Miss Miko, have you ever pooped on a flight? That means yes. Come on, clap, y'all. Clap. Miss Miko.
Wait, I got a story. Wait.
Miss Miko took a shit at 27,000 feet. Come on, clap. Come on.
Wait, I was on a 17-hour flight.
I don't care.
My stomach was twisted, and I was like, "How am I gonna do this?" I did. And I just kept flushing and I kept doing courtesy flushes.
Oh my God.
When I opened the door, of course, it was a freaking line.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And you see, and you can't spray nothing.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hold on. I was on that flight for 17 hours. I had to go.
Yo, guys in the chat room, do you hear this? Let's give Miss Miko a round of applause. That's the one thing we love about this show, this transparency. She couldn't lie. You see, when I didn't even get a chance to act it, she's like, oh. She couldn't lie. She couldn't lie about that. Miss Miko took a shit at 30,000 feet in the air. Let's clap for that on a 17-hour flight. And that stomach was like, I know you was like, oh my God. And that was 2 hours into the flight. You know, Miss Miko, what hour of the flight did you take your shit?
It had to be like the 10th or 11th hour. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't hold no more. Oh my God, I was trying so hard.
Oh my God, yo. Oh, that's hilarious.
And then when I opened the door and I seen the line, everybody was judging me. They all looked at me like,
oh my God. They're like, yo, she took a shit. I know they were knocking on the door. Are you done? Are you done yet, ma'am? Ma'am, are you done?
Yo, it was crazy. It was crazy. So embarrassing.
Oh my God. See, how embarrassing could you be? Nobody cared. I mean, at the moment, it was embarrassing. So for the next, and then for the next 7 hours, but you felt better, right?
I sure did.
And that's what it's all about. Because sometimes if I got to take a poop in public area, that's the first thing I think. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Right.
And I need to feel better. And I'm not going to allow the general public to dictate how I feel. So if I got to take a major poop right now, I'm going to do it in the public area because I need to feel better. I have to make a deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, even though she felt embarrassed for a minute, she felt better. So which one is it? A dab of embarrassment or feeling uncomfortable? Because she wasn't going to make it for those next 7 hours. She would have pooped in her seat as well. And what you going to do? Start crying after you poop?
It was bad. It was bad.
My friends
was like, bitch.
Who said that? Say that again.
My friends, it was like, bitch. Because I was going mad long. They was like,
oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm done, Sean. I gotta go. I'm
done. Okay, guys. Oh, great. Thank you, man. Put a number in the chat room if you enjoyed the show today. Put a number 2 if you did. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team with the Queen Synergy on the Wake the F Up Monday. We truly appreciate you. Show is sponsored by You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise. That's August 2nd through the 9th. The Norwegian Escape is the ship, and we're selling out of Miami. We're going down the west coast of Mexico. I mean, the east coast of Mexico. We truly appreciate you. Miss Miko, do you have any last words, if you don't mind?
Yep. Don't forget July the 12th. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team. Cindy J and myself, we are the Wake Up Team. We will be in Comedy in Harlem. Get your tickets. Call me, Sean, Cindy, smoke signal us, call us, text us, DM us, whatever. We want to see all of you. But my final word is either you run the day or the day runs you. It's your choice.
Yo, say that one more time.
Either you run the day or the day runs you.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you. See you in a few days, man. Please put a number in chat room if you enjoyed the show today. Put a number 2 if you don't. Let's shout out a few of them. LaShawn Haynes Jones, D-Lo Mathis. Go ahead. And who else? You name a few too, Mr. Miko.
Princess Cox. You know, that's my honey bunny. Chat room member Vanetta George. What's up, girl? Vanetta, we still got to do something for your birthday. I'm sorry I missed it last week, but it was either I go with you and Sydney or I go with my husband for free. So I was like, I'm going for free. But I promise you, we're going to get together and we're going to do something, girl. Or shows you what's up.
Or Vanetta and Danielle and all of them, y'all can meet Miss Miko on July the 12th.
Or we could do something July the 12th. We could do the show, the after party, and the after party. We can do that too.
All right, guys, have a good day. We'll see you in a few. God bless you. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. Miss Miko, let's wave at these folks. We are out of here.
Bye, guys.
All right, later.